Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today, again, at long last, I'm so happy to see all the smiling faces here.
Yes.
Yes! Okay, well, let's settle down.
Sorry.
Class,
Sorry.
settle down, please.
Sorry.
I know everybody's very excited. We were gone for a while, but I need to get to class. We have a lot to talk about today, a lot to catch up on, because, somebody forced us to take a 6-week break. I'm not mad. I'm a little bit mad. It's just the professor just wouldn't hear. I told him in the heat,
You are the
in
professor.
the humidity. I'm sorry, the principal. I meant to say the principal. The principal, he just doesn't understand. I told him over and over again, the best way to learn is in an extremely hot room where it's super humid. But he was like, no, we have to wait for this heat to die down or whatever.
Yeah, it was the heat index was insane. It was too dangerous to be in class.
Nah, it's never too dangerous to be in class. I mean, we've never done anything dangerous here.
I disagree.
Please,
Look,
Professor.
the break was needed.
Please.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Here in the classroom, joining me here today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis.
Yes,
You can please
Professor.
say
That's
hello
me,
to
as Curtis.
everybody.
Please, just
You
drink-
are an absolute
just-
mess.
More than
What on
usual. You stink more than usual.
drink it, Professor. Drink it, please.
earth? Jeez. Oh, he's
Are you
saying
okay?
Please.
I mean, he does give me a cup of coffee every morning.
What
This
is
is,
that? Is that coffee? That's coffee,
It
right?
smells like
It's coffee.
this smells like 6-week-old coffee that's been put into a microwave every 30 minutes or so to keep it warm.
Yes.
What have you?
Yes, Professor. I brewed that for you.
That's shockingly accurate.
I made that on the next day of class when I thought we were gonna have class, and I've
6
been
weeks
here
ago?
for the last 6 weeks, warming it up every 30 minutes.
Oh.
I didn't know when you were gonna come back, Professor. I was like, I have to keep it warm for Professor when he comes in.
Did you not see the announcement that we made on the Flying Pokemon themed social network site, Twitter?
No,
Yeah.
That
Professor,
said
I
that we
never
were
look at
taking a
my
break?
Twitter once I'm in the class.
Where people can follow us and find out information about the class,
Yeah, important school dates.
such as when we're taking a 6-week break.
a 6. Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense, but... Oh,
Have you
gosh.
blinked since we've been here? Hello? Are you good? Did you
Here,
sleep
here,
at all?
listen.
Come on. Did you eat?
I mean, in 25-minute intervals.
right.
25 minutes. Wait, as in like you ate every 25
No,
minutes?
I slept in every for 25 minutes.
So what did you eat?
Interval.
What did you eat?
Just the coffee grinds.
Oh, okay.
For 6
All right.
weeks. Oh, it's got me. Really
You need to check your phone more, Mr. Curtis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would recommend.
I always turn my phone off when I go into classroom. I don't want to distract myself.
Mr. Curtis, I would recommend you, after, I don't know, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes of the professor not being here for class, I would suggest you start asking questions.
I would never question you, Professor.
Oh my god.
Maybe, see if there's literally anybody else in the school.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, but yes, that's Mr. Curtis.
Do you
of
like
course,
it, Professor?
The coffee?
Yes.
I'm not sure I want to drink it.
I mean,
just-
no, I wouldn't. Just throw it out. It's disgusting.
No.
Mr. Curtis,
Here.
all of your efforts were for nothing. I'm so sorry.
I guess I'll try to take a quick drink here. He seems really upset about it.
Just
Oh.
it looks like it looks like sludge.
Do you like it, Professor? Did I do good?
No.
I just
I didn't know coffee grinds went bad. Ugh. Did you put cream in this? Has there been cream in it the whole time?
6 weeks ago, yes.
Oh no! Ew!
Oh god. That's why it's chunky.
Oh, that's
I'm
disgusting.
gonna, you know what? We're gonna put this to the side.
For
I'll
who?
look at it.
Just dump it out.
I'll look at it and I'll think about, how loyal to this classroom you are, Mr.
Oh,
Curtis.
Thank you. That's all
right?
I wanted to hear, Professor.
But also here in the classroom today, you've heard his voice, is our trainer in training, of course, the classroom president.
Yes.
Corbin, if you could go ahead and say
Yes.
hello to your fellow students.
It's good to be back. Good to be back, everybody. It feels good. I mean, listen, I enjoyed the 6-week break. I did a bunch of fun stuff outside of the classroom. Don't ask. But I did a bunch of fun stuff. I promise I saw people. I promise there was large groups hanging out with me, and I wasn't alone in my room the entire time.
It sounds like a lie. It sounds like you were
glued
in your room
glued to my TV
the entire time.
No. I was at the beach. Went to the mountains. I went to Mount Silver. I even,
You went to in Johto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I went to Mount Silver, and I got some pictures of a Tyranitar, and it was a good time. I went hiking with my mom and Mr. Mime.
Tyrannosaurs are extinct.
They're not extinct. Tyrannotars are alive. You're thinking of Tyrantrum. Those are extinct.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Maybe I should be the new professor. The 6-week break has gotten you all messed up.
No, I just misheard you. I thought you said Tyrantrum. I misheard you.
No. I would never misspeak on Pokemon like that.
And also, Tyrannotars are extremely rare, so they might be on the verge of extinction.
I mean, listen, this was all real. It all happened. You just have to take my word for it. I
honestly
adventurous.
don't care enough to even ask another question about it. So
thank you so much.
So I won't.
Good to be back.
All right. Before we get started with our lesson today, we did get a few emails in the break, so I want to go ahead and read those from our students because I want to make sure everybody who's working hard to get the extra credit gets their time. Right?
Yes.
So the first email I have here is from a very young student. I'm so excited that they're getting interested in Pokemon so early. It's never too early to start. I always say that. Alexander, actually, him and his parents found these lessons while they were on a road trip, and they listened to them all.
What?
I know. I'm so happy about it. Especially when you're on vacation and you are taking the time to still do your studies.
Talk about cramming. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good. It's good to dig deep into your studies. So thank you, Alexander. He says that his favorite team member is Mr. Curtis.
What?
Yes.
Really? Oh,
yeah, I mean, he says that you crack him up. I don't know if you ever really tell jokes or not. Just that you are.
Has he seen what Mr. Curtis looks like? Because I don't think this Alexander fella would think he's very funny. I think he would think he's terrifying to look at.
I think the professor's really the funniest out of all of us. I think that's the truth.
Well, I'm trying to be educational here, not funny. And also, this is an audio recording of this lesson, so I don't think any of our virtual students have seen us.
It's maybe for the best.
Yeah. Do we want to describe ourselves? I think Mr. Curtis we've already described pretty well. Long trench coat, skin that tends to change color on a red, green, blue scale every so often.
mean, you look a little sickly sometimes.
Just slightly, though.
Sometimes you look sickly.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Corbin is about 3 feet tall.
Okay, not 3. I'm like 4.5 feet at this point. But I'm very
4.5? No way.
Yeah, 4.5.
Mr. Curtis is actually 8 feet tall.
It's true.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, if you look at him from if you're laying on the ground and you look up at an angle, then maybe he looks 8 feet. But
I do have greenish colored blood. That's important.
And then for me, just picture a more handsome Lance. And then that's about
nobody's
right.
more handsome than Lance. You mean the Dragon Tamer,
me.
the Dragon Master? No.
Yeah, of the Elite Four.
Of the Elite Four? Yes. No, that guy's a stud. Sorry.
Hey, if the shoe fits, what can I say?
No. All right. Anyways, we should probably get back to the.
Oh yes. So yes, he says that Mr. Curtis is very silly, which I think we can all agree with. And they also said that their favorite lessons were Slowpoke and Psyduck. So
good times.
If any of the students out there missed those lessons, I would suggest you go back and listen to them because they have a glowing review from Alexander, and it's gonna be on the test at the
Perry
end
will
of the semester,
appreciate that. I'll tell him on the ride home when he's in my basket on my bike when I'm riding him home.
Perry was really the star of that show.
Yeah, it wasn't a show, but yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's a show.
Perry's the star of my life.
Putting on a performance.
The professor puts on a show every day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alexander did also submit some extra credit work.
No kidding. Let me see that.
We have so here's a drawing of Latios and Latias.
No kidding.
We haven't talked about those Pokemon yet. They are legendary Pokemon, so
okay.
I'm
cool.
excited that Alexander knows about them. This one here is Mega Mewtwo, which again is one that is a legendary Pokemon and a Mega Evolution too. So we have talked about Mega Evolutions.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, make sure you're passing those around. To
Okay.
Mr. Curtis
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
seeing.
Yes, of course.
And then this one, I believe, is Moltres.
What? Oh.
Yes.
I think
Yes,
that one.
This is
that
an
one
excellent.
gets.
I love this one.
That one gets this week's Gold Star from Mr. Curtis.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Wow.
We're gonna put
Gold
that on the
star,
Gold Star-
for Alexander.
Gold Star
All
one.
right. Yeah, that's a good. I like the Moltres one. He's nosediving into the ground. It looks like. I like it.
I'm gonna pin it up over here, on the Gold Star wall. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excellent work, Alexander. Thank you so much for taking an interest in Pokemon biology. I look forward to hearing all of your incredible research one day. All right, so we also have another one here. This one comes to us from Zolston Williams. This is going to be Zoltan Williams, I think, is the pronunciation. I'm probably horribly messing up that pronunciation. It's a very quick one. It's a question. Who would win in a fight, Raichu or Machoke?
Raichu.
Well, oh, okay. I mean, I don't. You think?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I have to go with Machoke.
No, I'm going to go with Raichu. Sorry.
Okay, explain your answers. Go on.
I think William Shire has demonstrated his ability to kick butt and take names.
No.
See, like,
No. It's
No.
just
no.
look at the product of my.
No. Listen. Raichu. Okay, so it's all melee attacks with Machoke. Raichu has special attacks. He can, he's got distance. He's got range. He could easily just zap Machoke and paralyze him before he even comes close. So they could just punch his face while he's down. It's a no-brainer.
punch
It's
him while he's
Raichu.
down.
It's Raichu.
I mean, it really depends. I think both of these Pokemon are very strong Pokemon in their own right, and it has a lot to do with training. So it really depends on that. But, I think the way it would go down is Raichu would have to get that first Thunderbolt, that first Lightning Bolt to hit and take out Machoke. Because if Machoke can close the ground on Raichu, the Raichu's gone for sure.
As long as you can keep the distance, I think Raichu is going to win no matter what.
So if that Lightning Bolt doesn't take out Machoke, or the Machoke can get around it somehow,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or he's
Raichu's
standing
gone.
on a rubber pad so that he's insulated.
Well, I don't think that's allowed. It doesn't seem fair.
I'm gonna give my Machoke big rubber platform shoes to run in.
Okay, no, that's cheating.
Yeah, that does seem like cheating. Although, trainers give their Pokemon items all the time, so maybe it's not cheating.
I mean, that's true.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
yeah, if you're gonna give your Raichu berries to eat, like that's gonna boost his powers, why can't my Machoke?
But listen,
shoes?
no berries, no items. I think Raichu's got it. He's quicker. He's got the range.
I just want to protect his little feetsies. That's all.
All right. Well, thank you, Zoltan, for. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm just gonna call you Williams. Thank you, Williams, for that very interesting question. It really got us talking.
Mm-hmm.
You will also receive extra credit this week. Thank you very
Nice.
much.
Good job.
The last question comes to us from a student named Goldsmith Digger.
Is that a first, middle, and last name? How does that work?
It looks like it's all one word, so I'm not sure.
All right.
Exactly.
Wow.
And they say, Professor Jacob, can we get another episode with Professor Palm? I don't know what he's
Episode?
talking about with episodes.
What?
These are lessons. That
Yeah.
we, so yes, can we get another lesson with Professor Palm? I mean, listen, Palm is a very, very busy man. We don't need to bother him. I don't think
Yes.
we need to.
Yes.
No.
Please.
He's over there working with the inferior mucks.
You can't
and
say that.
Primers,
You just
and-
can't say that.
What? They
You
are.
can't say they're inferior. Why? Because they look different than the Kanto
they're
ones?
arguably inferior to my my super bred Spinnerax. Okay.
Well, I mean, what isn't, Mr. Curtis?
No. Listen. I would love Professor Palm to come back personally. But he is very busy in the Alola
He
region.
is very busy.
But you know what? We should give him a call. See how he's doing.
Maybe
Have him
we'll
come
look
back.
to see what regional variants we have of Pokemon coming up, and then we can decide if we want to bother Professor Palm for that. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Digger also goes on to ask, what species is Mr. Curtis?
I think he's...
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I would say human adjacent. Like almost human.
Human
but-
human with the little asterisks, you don't know?
Yeah, like in that. Yeah, it says it's human in quotation marks, and then like an asterisk and then below it says probably not though.
I mean, if I wasn't human, would my fingers wiggle like this when I waved at you?
Oh my!
Oh. Okay.
See, that almost looked normal, but if you look close, he does have 6 fingers on each hand.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
man, it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not normal.
We got you on that one.
Digger, the answer is we think he's human.
We think I'm like 98% sure he's human. I'm working on that last 2%.
Maybe.
I'm human enough.
I like that.
But thank you so much for your questions and your input, Mr. Goldsmith. You also earn extra credit today.
Nice.
All right, and I think that catches us up on all the emails. So I think it's time to get into what we're here to do, to learn about Pokemon biology. Does anybody know who we're talking about this week?
Is it finally Decidueye? I'm so ready for it to be Decidueye.
No, you can't just jump to Decidueye. It's Rowlet. You can't just jump.
Oh, that's right. You have to start with Rowlet.
It is true.
First.
Listen, it's not Rowlet or Decidueye, but Corbin is right. We are definitely going to talk about Rowlet before we talk about Decidueye. So don't guess Decidueye again until we've definitely talked about Rowlet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I'll give you a hint. It's a fighting type Pokemon. You know, I'm not surprised that you don't remember from our last lesson, considering how long ago it was.
It's been quite a while.
Yes, it's been a very long time.
It's a fighting type. Okay, is it? It's got to be Hitmontop, maybe.
Hitmontop.
Its name does start with Hit.
Oh,
Hitmon.
Hit.
So you're very, very close.
Hitmon bottom.
No.
Yeah,
It wasn't
like a
trick.
Obviously we would have to start with Tyrogue, right? Because we Rowlet before Decidueye.
Who's Tyrone?
Tyrogue.
Oh.
Now, Mr. Curtis is correct. Tyrogue does evolve into this Pokemon. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
However, we didn't. So the ordering in the Pokedex is kind of weird. Or the National Pokedex is a little bit weird. They kind of like do it by regions, and so
Please don't be sacrilegious.
Well, okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's weird.
Oh, well,
Weird can be good.
okay.
But it does. So like we kind of like put things in, based on, when they were discovered and by region as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we didn't really learn about Tyrogue until Johto joined the Federation of Pokedexes. So, so that's why we actually talk about its evolved forms first.
Right.
Gotcha.
So any more guesses, or do you just want me to say
Hitmonside.
No, Mr. Curtis, you have one more guess.
I definitely think it's Hitmonjoe.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
We're learning about Hitmonlee.
Oh.
Yes. Now there are 3
I had
Hitmons.
my names mixed up.
Okay.
Well, Hitmonjoe is nothing.
Yeah, you're
so
usually better about that, Mr. Curtis. What's going on?
Well, I I have 2 neighbors. Okay, one is Lee and one is Joe. So I just get the 2 mixed up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay, you know what? I'll allow it. So there's 3 Hitmons. There's Hitmonlee. There's Hitmonchan, and then there's also Hitmontop. We are not gonna. So you did say Hitmontop, Corbin. So good
I
on that.
did say that.
Hey,
I was there for that.
Go.
But
Yep.
Hitmontop is one of those we didn't really learn about until Johto joined us in
Yep.
this Pokedex.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about Hitmontop for a long time, but we are going to talk about Hitmonchan next week. Yeah. So, has anybody seen Hitmonlee before? Does anybody kind of like know what they look like, what they do? Listen,
you'll
get it. I'll give you a hint. You'll get a kick out of it.
Okay, so I was just about to ask: is this the punch or the kick one?
This is the kick one.
It sounds like it's the kick one, Mr. Curtis.
Because you can get a kick, guys. Because you can get a kick out of it. Do you get it? Do you get it? You missed my jokes. Come on, Corbin.
Okay, that was pretty. Okay, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
You know what? Yeah, that was good.
All right, so I have Hitmonlee with me today.
What?
They are very good at kicking, so if I wouldn't challenge one to a fight.
Okay.
But
Wasn't going to.
But Professor.
Okay. I know some people in this classroom have a tendency to try to flex what they've learned from our resident Machoke. But I'm just saying.
Let me just crack my back here real quick.
Okay.
Oh
no.
God, he's gonna. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe he
Ah.
wasn't even thinking about it until I said something.
That's right. Ooh. All right. Bring them on out, Professor.
Okay, it's
ready.
Against my better judgment, I am gonna go ahead and bring this Hitmonlee out. All right, here we go.
Whoa, Mr. Longlegs here, looking good. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
They can get even longer too.
Ah,
Wow.
Mr. Longlegs. Aha!
Whoa, okay, all right. He just
Oh, God,
said
he's doing the
don't
thing.
challenge.
Don't
Don't
do
challenge
it.
it. And now what are you doing?
Listen, I would not be a disciple of William Shire's Machoke School of awesome combat.
You made that up.
If
Yeah, you don't even know what it's called.
well, I
Yeah.
know, well, it's not a formal class. I just study under him. He's my sensei, and
Bless you.
I can't. Thank you. I can't let this challenge go unchallenged.
It's not a
You know,
challenge.
wasn't
He's
cha-
just sitting there. He's not doing anything.
Well, now that you've challenged Hitmonlee, he does. Okay, Hitmonlee is starting to stretch and is
Oh,
gearing
yeah,
up.
there we go. Stretch those
We
legs,
can't
boy.
stop this now.
Uh-oh. Okay, all right. Well, Mr. Curtis, good luck. I
I
mean,
think he's ready, Professor. If you'll
don't
count
die.
us off. Count us
What
off
do you
for
mean?
this duel.
Okay.
bow to you. Thank you.
Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
Okay. All right. Good.
All right, and then on go, I guess get started.
All right.
1, 2, 3, go!
Ah!
Oh my! Whoa! Oh!
are you good?
Can you even hear us? He went. For those students listening at home, he did get kicked through the back wall of the classroom.
Oh my god.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call this one to Hitmonlee.
Yeah, I think he won.
I think he won. You know what? I'm sure Mr. Curtis is okay. While we have Hitmonlee out here, Corbin, if you could just describe Hitmonlee a little bit. What do you see here?
First of all, baller kick up top. Nice.
Yeah, up top.
And
he high-fived you with his foot. That
he
was
did.
cool.
That was cool. So Hitmonlee doesn't really. It's hard to explain. It's like his body and his head are kind of one thing. And he's kind of like this brown color, and then he has really long segmented legs that are kind of cream colored. They have like a bunch of segments to them, so they, I guess, help them bend more easily.
The thing is, though, they don't look super muscular, though, right?
They don't. They just look super flexible. And then at the end of this feet, he has 3 claws at the end with another brown colored foot, and he's got like a little yellow marking on the side of it.
Yeah,
and then
like your ankle.
Yeah, he's got arms with 3 fingers at the end, and the arms aren't as big and muscular as like the feet per se. Like obviously, he's got arms, he's got hands, he can use them, but he's not going to do anything with them like he can with his feet. And then with his head, he doesn't really seem to have a visible mouth, but he has really
I don't see a mouth there.
He has
Maybe
dark
hidden
eyes
under his skin. Is that skin or is that fur?
I think that's skin, but you know what? I'm not gonna touch it.
Smooth as a baby's bottom.
I'm pretty sure that's like skin. But dark, menacing eyes. But he seems pretty chill. He just likes a
he's starting to
duel.
jog in place. He's sorry.
Look at him
I think
go.
He's starting to get antsy in here. Just standing around.
Well, maybe you should put him back in the ball then.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll put him back into the Pokeball. Thank you, Hitmonlee. I know you obliterated one of my students. But thank you for your
I'll
work
get
here.
you next time.
Ooh, you look rough, dude.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, jeez.
I tell you what, it did get that creak out of my neck, so I appreciate that, Mr. Longlegs.
All right, Hitmonlee is gone. Hitmonlee is gone. It's time to focus on the lesson. Time to read these Pokedex entries. You gonna be able to sit down there, Mr. Curtis? You're really struggling.
Yes. I will stay at my desk. Trust me.
Okay.
I've about
okay.
All right,
it's been a rough 6 weeks
yes,
for Mr.
this
Curtis.
desk and I have basically become one at this point.
Who's watching your Spinarak colonies?
That is a good question. Is it are Lee and Joe watching them? Your neighbors?
Oh no, they very much keep away from the property.
That's probably
I say they're my neighbors, but they're just my closest neighbors. Like there's still several miles between my house and theirs, and they know not to go in the woods because the Ariodoses do have some traps set up. They do catch food for the young Spinaraks. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
so self-sufficient.
It's self-sufficient
Right.
when I'm not there.
Still don't see how this is all legal, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, people train Pokemon all the time. It's not.
Not really training. It's more of a hellscape, but yeah, sure.
Kinda. All right, let's read these Pokedex entries. Starting in the Kanto region, the first one says, "When in a hurry, its legs lengthen progressively.
Ooh.
It runs smoothly with extra long, loping strides."
Yeah. So they extend. So it's the segmented thing about like the segmented parts of its legs are not just for bending; it's also for like extending it, like stretches.
Exactly. Yes, they can extend.
That's kind of cool.
And we'll learn a little bit more about that as we go on. But yeah, believe it or not, its legs are very good for running.
I like it.
The next one here says, "When kicking, the sole of its foot turns as hard as a diamond on impact, and it destroys its enemy." Mr. Curtis, what would you say about that?
I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Would you say it destroyed you?
Yeah, it did.
I think it
it
did.
did very much wreck me up when I went flying
Your
through them.
trench coat's a little ripped there.
At the very least, it did destroy his confidence and his fighting abilities.
It did.
And
It
I'll
did.
have to go back to the dojo and train some more.
Yep.
Yes, definitely. But definitely get some rest first.
Yep.
All right, the last one from the Kanto region says, "Repeatedly kicks with its enemy with legs that freely stretch and contract. Some people refer to it as the Kicking Master."
Ooh. See, Curtis, you never had a chance. It's the Kicking Master,
Well, only some people call it the Kicking Master. I don't think that's globally
enough people.
recognized.
Listen, enough people that it goes in the Pokedex. That's all I'm saying.
I guess so.
I suppose, but is every Hitmonlee considered the Kicking Master? Are they all considered the Kicking Master?
Yes.
I mean, they're all referred to as the Kicking Master.
They're all masters together.
They're all masters of kicking, I suppose. But
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Johto region. This amazing Pokemon. Okay, all right, guys.
It's pretty
Settle
cool.
down.
Pretty cool.
That's cool. I mean, I don't think they've called any other Pokemon amazing, but whatever. This amazing Pokemon has an awesome sense of balance. All right, geez, calm down.
Awesome. Wow. Awesome.
Amazing
Awesome.
and awesome sense of balance.
He's a cool one.
It can kick in succession from any position.
yes. It
Okay.
just spins,
Yeah, so, like-
right around and punts you right through a wall.
On like one foot,
Mhm.
on one toe, like off of 2 feet, on its hands, upside down.
He could do a jump, like he could jump off of his hands, like a handstand, then into jumping into a kick.
Any position you can think of, he can kick in succession from
A
it.
somersault kick,
So that
roundhouse.
means over and over and over again.
Yeah, all of them.
Yes. The next one says, if it starts kicking repeatedly, both legs will stretch even longer to strike a fleeing foe.
Wow. And how long do they stretch?
Good question. So before we've seen freely stretch and contract, that would lead me to believe as long as they want, but we will get a little bit more information on it later on. So we haven't really that question, believe it or not, Corbin, is answered
All
in
right.
the Pokedex.
Good.
A lot of the times it's not, but this
Yep.
time it is.
Good.
All right, and the last one from the Johto region says, it is also called the Kick Master. It uses its elastic legs to execute every known kick.
Wow.
I think it knows. It knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, guys. If you could just for me name like just a couple of kicks that you know.
Well, roundhouse kick.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's that's
Full
one.
moon
That's-
kick?
What does that look? Hey, Corbin, Corbin, what does a roundhouse kick look like?
Because I've been so active in those 6 weeks, I'm a little sore. So I think I'm gonna just like.
Don't describe it to me. Describe it to
you
me.
jump, and you make a.
No, actually, jumping is not involved in a roundhouse.
Well, okay, so you have a house, and then you go
Yeah.
around it, and then you kick somebody. So you go
All right,
around
so
the house
I
and
would-
kick them, right?
I would not call Corbin a kicking master.
Well, I'm not a Hitmonlee, so
it's
No, you're not.
Listen,
That's
a roundhouse kick
say
is
that every
okay, but
day.
it's not as good as my patented banana kick. So
my legs aren't that strong. They just
Hold on, Corbin. Hold on, Mr. Curtis. What is a banana kick?
well, let's see. Let me demonstrate for you here.
No, don't demonstrate it. Tell me about it. I want to know what it is.
Well, so where a roundhouse kick goes in a circle, right?
right.
Kind of,
A banana kick
kind of.
goes around the back, up over the head, and down again,
Oh,
like a banana.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
wait, like a banana.
Bananas.
yeah. It's long and tall like a banana.
Right, and it kicks and it jumps like a banana.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay,
Would you like me
alright.
to demonstrate now, Professor?
I don't think you can do it.
Oh, this is my patented move right here. I just swing my leg back like
Oh, you just broke your desk, dude. You just congrats.
That was a good kick, though.
Yeah.
I mean, impressive.
See?
If you were aiming to destroy your desk, good job.
Good. It's that
A
is
little sloppy.
Sorry, students at home, do not attempt a banana kick without first training several months with Machokes. Okay.
Yes,
And
that's
getting
important.
kicked through a wall. That's also very important.
That's right. You need the extra flexibility that comes from dislocated joints after being kicked through a wall. So,
Yeah, you have to dislocate your joints over and over again, many days in a row.
uh-huh.
But absolutely, do not do any of this.
Yes, I'm a trained professional.
All right, so while Mr. Curtis is moving to his new desk after he broke his old one, I'm going to read the entries from the Hoenn region.
Yeah, Hoenn. Nope, never mind.
Okay. Hitmonlee's legs freely contract and stretch. Using these spring-like legs, it bowls over foes with devastating kicks. After battle, it rubs down its legs and loosens the muscles to overcome fatigue.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So recovery is just as important as the workout, everybody. All right. So make
Yes.
sure you're doing your stretches and you're massaging your legs if you do some intense leg workouts.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to remember that too. My legs are really weak, but I also attribute that to the weight of the world on my shoulders sometimes.
Well,
you know?
wouldn't your legs be really strong then? Because of all the, they have to work really hard to keep up the world.
You know,
That's right.
you would think.
Yeah. All
They're
right.
not.
Take your pity party somewhere else, Corbin.
Okay.
All right, and then the last one here. There's only two from the Hoenn region this time. It says the legs. It just says the legs freely contract and stretch. It doesn't say like its legs or Hitmonlee's leg. It just says the legs. You know which ones we're talking about.
Right.
The ones on this
The ones
guy.
and onlys, these legs.
Yeah. The legs freely contract and stretch. The stretchy legs allow it to hit a distant foe with a rising kick.
Okay.
Yeah, this kick is rising.
Yeah. It's awesome. Love it.
Okay. I think that does it for the Hoenn region. Let's move on to the Sinnoh region. There's only one here. This will be
Okay.
very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Its legs can stretch double. First-time foes are startled by its extensible reach.
Wait, so is that as long as they can go? Can they only stretch double?
They, according to this entry here from the Sinnoh region, they can only stretch double. I
Okay, well,
assume
there's the
that
answer.
means double their length. So yes, they're pretty long right now too. So they can double that up.
Okay.
You guys don't sound as impressed as I thought you
Well,
would.
I mean, that is
I'm a little
cool.
disappointed. It seemed like they stretched
Oh, okay.
longer.
Mr. Curtis is disappointed. His legs can stretch further.
No,
apparently.
it just seemed like they stretched longer before. So I thought maybe he could do like 3 or 4 times, but I guess only
Well,
double.
as the entry goes on, first-time foes are startled by its extensible reach. So you were one of those
I
first-time
was,
foes.
yes. Maybe thinking back, it was exaggerated in my head.
Yeah, probably. That was probably it. All right, so that does it for the Sinnoh region, unfortunately. I think that actually does it for all the other regions. From there on, they just kind of repeat
No
what we've already
kidding.
heard. Yeah, I mean, they do kind of like rephrase it a little bit in Galar and say its legs can stretch double their length, which is honestly a better way to say that. And then it does say first-time foes are startled by Hitmonlee's extensible reach. Yeah, so I mean that does it for the regional Pokedex entries on Hitmonlee.
Well, look at there.
Yeah. There are several unique entries.
Okay.
So the first one comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says, Hitmonlee, the Kicking Pokemon. This nimble Pokemon launches lethal kicks from almost any position. Yes, this is almost
lethal, obviously.
Almost.
Yes.
Well, no, lethal.
Almost.
Okay,
It's lethal in almost any position.
Yeah, that should be stated clearly. They are lethal, not almost lethal. They will kill you.
They will. Yeah, it's a miracle, Mr. Curse, that you're not dead right now.
It honestly is.
That's all I'm saying.
Hitmonlee was probably holding back.
He had to have been. If it were my little 10-year-old body, I would have been dead.
Hitmonlee was in one of those positions where its kicks weren't lethal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so almost any position, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. The next entry also comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. I guess he got a different Pokedex at some point. It says Hitmonlee, the Kicking Pokemon. Hitmonlee can extend and retract its legs at will to kick opponents from almost any distance. Not true.
No, just twice the length.
I was going to say, there is a very well-defined distance at which Hitmonlee can kick its foe.
Yeah.
And that's anywhere between, right next to it and twice its leg length away from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the last entry comes to us from Dawn's Pokedex. Dawn's Pokedex says Hitmonlee, the Kicking Pokemon, and the evolved form of Tyrogue. Again, we haven't learned about Tyrogue yet. I know it's confusing. I'm sorry about that. I'm actually not that sorry. You know what? This is a tried and true curriculum, and I don't apologize for it.
Listen, it's just the way it's been registered. Okay,
it's how it's been registered. The evolved form of Tyrogue, its legs double in length, and opponents are surprised by Hitmonlee's attack range when facing it for the first time.
Okay.
You think people would eventually just learn that Hitmonlees can stretch their legs really far?
But that's why we have this class.
Yeah, so now Mr. Curtis was surprised, but Corbin now will not be surprised.
So yeah, when I'm fighting Hitmonlee, when I'm a trainer, years from now, when I'm a masterful trainer and I'm fighting Hitmonlee or something,
years and years,
perhaps
decades.
Challenging the Elite Four, fighting Bruno's Hitmonlee.
Decades,
let's just say
maybe even centuries from now.
Maybe months. Who knows?
Probably longer.
But, maybe a couple years. But when I'm fighting that Hitmonlee, I will know now. Okay, so whatever its length of its legs are, 2 of those.
Yeah,
that's what I gotta watch out for.
And you can be like, "Hey, Magikarp, get out of the way," because that's the only Pokemon you're gonna have.
Right, Magikarp, flop back.
What? No. By the time I'm at the Elite Four, I will have a plethora of great Pokemon, and Perry will be by my side.
Think about it though. You were able to make it to the Elite Four with just a Magikarp. That's impressive.
That's right.
Yeah, that does say more about me than anything. Yeah, it's true. But I gotta have Perry. I gotta have Perry with me.
Of course, Perry.
I don't think Perry should be fighting. Honestly, I think Perry's one of those Pokemon.
That's true. He is more of a lover than a fighter.
Yeah,
I've always said that about him.
He deserves a gentle lifestyle, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves a quiet life being the school's therapist.
He's there for emotional support, right?
Right.
To keep you grounded.
So I could talk about the how he can be there to help me manage the fame and the success, so that it doesn't get to my head, because he's a therapist at the school, so he can be my personal therapist later, because at that point I'd have enough money I can hire him personally, and then he could help me on my mental health journey while I am basically beating the Elite Four and being the best.
So that's decades from now.
A couple years maybe.
All right, guys. All right, go ahead and put away your Pokedexes, and it's time for me to test to see what you've learned.
Okay.
Yes,
we're not doing a quiz today.
Oh, Professor.
Yes.
I've waited so long for a quiz, Professor.
That's okay. I have something better for you today.
You promise?
We're doing an essay question, all right?
Okay, all right.
Okay, so this is something that we didn't really talk too much about, and again, for those students who don't know, these essay questions are kind of open-ended. There are no right or wrong answers. I just want you to think critically, and I want you to apply your scientific logic, your thinking skills, your critical thinking skills to this question I'm about to ask. All right. This question is: how has having no neck facilitated Hitmonlee's kicking lifestyle?
Okay.
So basically, we talked about how Hitmonlee doesn't really have a neck. It's kind of, its head is just attached to its body.
Torso's all one thing, yeah.
And it's evolved that way for some kind of specific reason, right? And we assume that has something to do with its kicking style. So can you guys, provide for me maybe an answer to that? Maybe why having no neck makes it easier for Hitmonlee to kick real good?
You know, I think it can provide you that answer.
Oh wow, I'm very excited.
Let's do it.
That's good.
It's looking like okay. I'm looking at everybody. Everybody's put their pencils down. Are we all ready? Do we have our answers?
Locked in.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start with
Please,
Corbin.
Mr. Curtis, you sound like a Rillaboom. Please.
Oh yeah, he did have some rhythm there.
I can drum.
All right. Please stop. Please stop hitting the table.
That wasn't that
good. You're messing with the recording device.
I'm so sorry.
We don't need you to break another table. Okay.
Yeah. Not right now. All right, Corbin, please go ahead and read your answer to the essay question.
Okay. All right. So, turning your head is a peasant's game for Hitmonlee.
Absolutely.
It doesn't need to. It's evolved to the point where it doesn't need it, and I'll tell you why. With the insane kicks and moves it's capable of doing, a neck just adds more weight, number one. It makes it less streamlined to have a neck, and it's one more part to get hurt. The neck is one of the most fragile parts of the body, but because of Hitmonlee's crash dummy figure, it doesn't have to worry about breaking its neck doing tricks and flips. It can freely flip around and spin and do all this stuff. It doesn't have to worry about twisting its neck a certain way and breaking it, or even getting attacked and having somebody hit its neck. It can just take the punches, keep on going, absorb the blows, because it's just one big space, one big, hunk of meat with long legs. And then, so it can take hits, but the main reason is it's better for the tricks and flips and kicks it can do.
Okay, so your main thing is saying that it's because it's for it's a defensive thing,
right? It's defense. The neck. It's more defensive than anything else. It's to protect the body, but more than anything, it's better for attacking too. So I guess it's more of a. It's defense and attack. It's better
explain
in terms
again.
of its tricks.
Sorry, maybe I missed it. Explain again why it's better for
what happens if a Hitmonlee, while it's learning its moves, it does a front flip and then it lands on its neck? A lesser evolved Hitmonlee would have flipped on, done a front flip, landed on its neck, would have broken its neck and died. And then the other Hitmonlee saw that and said, "We gotta evolve no necks, dude."
Jeez,
so then that's what happens.
That's
guys, no more necks.
Very intense.
Look what happened. Look what happened to Davey. You see Davey?
He's dead.
No more necks, guys. We can't do necks.
Guys, we can't have necks in here. Come on. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Come on. But yeah, that's basically what I mean. It's more about...
So it kind of gives them the security to be able to do the jumps and flips.
Security. It's security and safety to perform the tricks and kicks it needs to win the battle. Okay. So it's to protect itself while it's fighting and training.
All right, excellent. Very good. Very good job there, Corbin. All right, Mr. Curtis, please, you could give us your answer to this essay question.
Of course. Okay. Please. Okay.
I hope that was that the coffee? Was that the coffee that you made?
I just.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Professor. I drank some of your coffee. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
Don't
so
do
sorry.
that. It's bad for you.
Oh God.
Oh gosh. No. Anyway. All right. So, the Hitmonlee torso head, now to be referred as a headso, is one solid hunk of mass. What was that, Professor? I'm sorry.
I'm not going to refer to it as a headso.
It sounds stupid.
This maybe a tord.
A tord.
A tord. Ooh, a tord is good. But I have already written this all in the term of headso. Change it. So anyway, is one solid hunk of mass. There is no neck, and this is to concentrate the mass into one headso point. This hunk of headso does serve as a counterweight for its long kicking legs, kind of like a trebuchet. The longer the leg is, the more unstable the swing of the kick is. So the headso serves both as a counterbalance for the swing and to provide extra momentum around the pivot point of the non-kicking leg. This is also why the legs don't look so muscly, because a lot of the power of the kick actually comes from the momentum of the swinging mass, not just the muscles in the leg.
Okay.
Wow, Mr. Curtis, I didn't know you got a degree in physics.
Wow.
I did not get it. I would never. I've dedicated my life to the study of Pokemon under your tutelage.
Do they give out degrees in physics in the Interregional Society of Assistance to Professionalism? You know that group that you're a part of?
No, unfortunately they don't. But I have listened to a couple seminars by some of the other assistants to physicist and to physicists. So
that's it.
Yes. So they are included in the IRSATP. So they do get.
And what's that stand for again? Just real quick.
The Interregional Society of Assistance to Professionalism. Of course.
Interregional Society of Assistance to what was it?
To professionalism.
Something professional.
Yes,
professionalism.
Right. So anyone who is an assistant, such as a teaching assistant, such as myself, or a lab assistant to a physicist,
sure,
may join.
As long as they're an assistant to somebody who's a professional.
Right, exactly, right. So we do have a couple like assistant bartenders and an assistant maid at one point. So we have a couple different, people from all walks of life, and everybody gets to give a talk about their field of professionalism.
Okay, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Okay, all right, shut up. Okay.
Yes.
All right, but very excellent answer. It provides an extra mass that it can use the momentum for to increase the strength of its kicks. Very good, Mr. Curtis. I will give you full marks for that one.
Thank you.
I'll allow it.
And Corbin, I don't know if I said it, but you also get full marks for yours.
Yeah,
very good job.
It's like a very fair and equitable decision, Professor.
Listen, guys, I was gonna give you full marks anyways. It's our first lesson back.
I appreciate that.
I gotta ease you guys into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, excellent job. That's gonna do it for today's lesson on Hitmonlee. Does anybody know who we're gonna talk about next week? I did say it earlier in the lesson.
Hitmontop.
No, it's the other one.
Tyrogue. Now we're gonna talk about Tyrogue.
No. It's gonna be a long time before we learn about
It's
those
not
two.
Tyrogue, but you guys mentioned him in the beginning. It's Tyrone? Is that who it is? Okay.
You just misheard
Tyrogue.
Tyrone.
Okay. Hitmon Rogue.
Okay, we're learning about Hitmonchan next week.
Oh, yes.
Which is kind of like Hitmonlee, but instead of kicking, it does the punches real good.
Okay. So that flipped around a little bit.
But that's gonna do it for today's lesson. So thank you guys so much for coming back to the lesson on schedule.
Yep.
I'm very happy that everybody was able to make it here today. Excellent job, even Mr. Curtis. Well, I guess Mr. Curtis was here the whole time.
I never left, Professor. I'm always here.
But for you students at home, if you have any questions for me, the professor, feel free to send me a message on our Gengar mail, or Gmail, if you may call it. It's wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gmail account, that's perfectly fine. You can also find us on the Flying Pokemon themed social network, Twitter. In fact, it'd be a very good idea to follow us there so you can learn about any other classroom announcements, such as breaks that we're taking.
Yep. Mr. Curtis.
Mr. Curtis.
Yes, Professor. At your instruction.
And also, if you would like to, you can give us a rating on Flapple Podcast or Spotify.
Oh my gosh, we're going up so much. Okay, it's almost time for another field trip because we almost hit 75. We're almost at 75 ratings on Apple Podcasts. Sorry, Flapple Podcast. We're almost at 75 ratings on Flapple Podcasts, which means we get a new field trip. And then I think the other goal was like 60 on Spotify gone, and we already have like 74 on Spotify gone now. So. Yeah.
Yeah, those are spelled like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I don't know why they spell them like that. It's weird. But thank you again. Thank you guys. So it's wonderful to be back here in the classroom. I hate taking breaks from these lessons, but it's always good to be back. So until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.